Okay, so good evening, everyone. So today, so have a nice day. So I wrote. Okay, so I am here to discuss a brief walkthrough. I mean, a walkthrough, a video walkthrough of our parking system. So this is the very first page, for example, or I mean a page of our parking system that the user would see. So it is going to ask whether the person is a user or an admin. The user is the one who is going to be placed or is stationed in the parking area and the one who operates the said system. Now, the admin can also operate a system, but the admin has privileges or exclusive access into to tools where it is not usable by the user. So um, let's go in. Let's press the user button. So this is the login page for the user. So it is going to ask for a username and a password. So for now, let's act as if we do not have any idea about any user or password or any account for the user. So let's go back, press the admin button. So for the admin account is hard coded because it is, for security reasons, because it is very counterintuitive for the admin to create admin accounts. So that's it. The user is admin. The password is 123. So we log in. Now we're here at the admin tools. So here we can see an area and a box, an empty box, and a display button. So when we press the display button, it displays all the users. Currently, all the users that are registered to our system. So the first one is Maxil Taxil, and the second is Maximus Aratmus. Now, the before the colon is the username, and after the colon is the password. So, um, okay, for example, we do not have any user. For example, we do not have two of these. So, for example, let's register a user. By the way, this is case sensitive. So whatever case you register the account in for the username or and the password, it should be exactly the same. So let's say for create a username, Maxil, um, 123 for the password, and asawa ni Marie. Okay, so that's the username and that's the password. And when we register it, it says user registered successfully. So okay, now when we display, you can see that there is Maxil 123 and asawa ni Marie. It is added to our system for the user accounts. Now, what would happen if we have the same username but different password? Now, the system would say that the username already exists. Please choose a different username. Why? Because when we delete a user here, it is deleted based on the user's username. So, for example, we have two Maxil usernames. Then, when we delete one, it would delete the other one. So, for us to not have multiple deletions of the same account, of two different accounts with the same username, I added or incorporated that username should be unique to each other. So, for example, let's remove this account, Maxil, and when we remove, it says user is removed and it updates the JList. So we have two accounts. Let's delete also the Maximus. Okay, so it is deleted, and when we return, it's the user Maxil, again case sensitive, and Taxil si Maxil. Okay, so when we log in, this is the mainframe or what this is something this is where which with which the the user or the admin would see in its operation. So when we add now for here for the name, um, we can input any name, plate number, any plate number, and for the contact information, I didn't put any specific or limitations on the contact information because it is also to provide flexibility. For example, as many foreigners are here in the Philippines, and we do not want to restrict them if ever they have foreign contact information. So if they have different SIM numbers, so this is why the contact number has freedom of its length. Um, and also, the it's the user, a trusted user in the parking lot would be is the one who is going to operate the system. So it's actually not a big deal or a big problem because yeah, that's it. So when we press enter, it says assign to slot one. When we search, let's say let's add first. Let's add another. Say Maxil. Plate number is T4KSIL Taxil. Okay, and for the contact information, for example, it's something like that. Assign say site 2. Now we can see here for the history button, we can see that this record is the A1 slot. This record is for the A2 slot. Now what would happen, I mean, if before we delete, let's try to search. Okay. Now let's try to search the first this plate number, and it should say A1. Okay, slot A1. Okay. Now history. Let's go back in history, and as you can see, both of these are in, labeled in. Now what would happen if I would delete one? Say TV123, plate number to delete, and when we open history, it should log the Kirk, this one that is in, as an out. As you can see, here is the date and time, and here is the date and time. Now what would happen if I were to add the same name, but the same name and the same password, and I mean the same how do you say this, plate number. Now you aren't able to um, input or register the same plate number. You are able to have the same name, but for the plate number it should be unique. So it would say that this plate number is already registered, and when you look at the history, it won't register it. Okay, so basically that's it. That's the basic run through of our program, but let me show you the additions. Okay, so this is the user list. This is the text file where the user is or the user accounts are added. For the JList here, for the JList and the admin, in the admin here, uh, the JList here and the admin. Never mind. Let's not. Let's close that. Um, let's focus on this one. So for the user list, this is the users that is added. When you create an account, first it reads all of this line by line, and search for an account and adds an account. Basically here, this is the database for your users. Now you can see here these are the same text files, but it has a different um, numbers at the end. As you can see, 12, 13, and 15. Basically those are dates. On December 12, 2024, December 13, 2024, December 15, 2024. So every time you use the system and every time you add an entry to the system, if the day is different, it is going to create a new file for that day. So basically, if you don't use the system for that day, it won't create a file, but if you do, then that's the time it would create the file. So, for data handling and for easy or management of the files. And yeah, that's about it. You know, so that's it for the system, the Group 10 system for the parking management system. Good night.